What's going on, guys? Gomes here, back again on another MLB The Show 20 Diamond Dynasty video, or rather a gameplay tip video. Today I'm going to give you guys tips on how to steal bases and how to be successful at it pretty much every single time that you do it. Now, stealing is very good this year, kind of like how it was last year, unless you have somebody with a catcher who has very high arm strength, or if you have somebody who is very alert and very adept at checking you, then you're probably going to steal a lot of bases. We're going to hop into the custom practice to show you guys this, but before we do, make sure to leave a like down below. As always, really does help out the channel a ton. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. We're just about at 24,000. You guys have really been killing the support. I cannot thank you guys enough. I have one more video today. I've been posting so many tips, really been going hard on MLB 20, so make sure do not miss any videos. Subscribe to the channel. With that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that is going to be very important to understand, we're just going to let this go while I'm talking. The first thing that you're going to have to think about is the count. Now, the count is going to be different whether you're doing it offline or actually online against another human opponent, because things work differently. Humans react differently than the AI is going to. What I found the best counts that you're going to want to steal on: a 2-0 count, a 2-1 count, a 3-0 count, a 3-1 count, or a full count, of course. Now, really, this is what I have found. It can be 1-0. Your opponent has no issue bringing it to 2-0, throwing a pitch out. They have no problem doing that. What they do have a problem with is going 3-0. Very rarely will you have somebody who pitches out. They might slide step, they might try and check you that way, but they're not actually going to intentionally throw a pitch out, which is really what's going to throw you out. You'd have to get a perfect jump and probably a lead with some of the best speed in the game in order to still be safe on that. And then, of course, 3-0 is the best count you're going to want to go on. Now, 3-0 is so good, obviously, because they don't want to walk you who you have at the dish. Now, usually I would recommend in general, unless you have a very good offensive player, a lot of hitting stats on there, I wouldn't recommend swinging at a 3-0 count if you have like a number 8 hitter in your order. If it's like a silver, if you're just starting out, you're probably not going to want to swing right there. So it makes sense, and you're going to either get second based off the walk, or if it's a strike, you're going to steal the base. On top of that, if it is a 3-0 count, they're probably not even going to slide step at that point. They may or they may not. Slide stepping is usually harder to time with unless you do it a lot, and they probably don't want to risk it, so they're going to regular pitch you, meaning it's going to be even easier to steal the base. Highly do not recommend that you steal first pitch. That's when people are mostly expecting you are to steal. If I see somebody with Byron Buxton get a hit, I am immediately thinking there is a high chance that they might steal with them. So the first pitch, I usually don't pitch out, but I definitely do slide step. So never really try and steal on the first pitch. Next, get a feel for things. Very important. Does their pitcher have a long stretch animation? We're seeing Blake's now right here. That's pretty average. That isn't fast, but that isn't slow either. There are some pitchers that have very slow stretch motions or animations in order to actually deliver the ball to the plate. Those are the guys you're going to want to steal on, and it's just cherries on top of the proverbial cake if they're not going to slide step you, because if you have somebody with high speed, it pretty much guarantees you're going to get in there. What pitches / how hard do they throw? Blake Snell, example. He throws a fastball. He has a changeup and 2 breaking pitches and a slider and a curveball. So that's a lot of slow pitches, 3 compared to his 1 fastball, which goes usually about 96, 95 miles per hour, as you just saw right there. If you have somebody like the Greg Maddux, who only throws a 91 mile an hour fastball, might be even more reason to run on them. What kind of catcher do they have? Remember, all you have to do is hold or press down on the R3 button and you get a full map layout on all their fielders. We're looking at their catcher right now, the Rays. 69 arm strength, not that good. That's probably going to be somebody you want to run on. And then, has your opponent been slide stepping? Have they been keeping you close? Now, some opponents will try and pick you off, some don't. I'm not a pick-off guy. I'll just slide step and occasionally pitch out. A lot of people will try and pick you off, so always be weary of that. And like I said, I don't recommend necessarily always stealing right away the first batter that you get on that is fast. Get a feel after that batter or after a few pitches once that batter is on base. Are they slide stepping you? Are they trying to pick you off? If no, you're almost guaranteed to be able to steal on them. So now let's actually talk about stealing. I have Trey Turner. He is 98 speed and 92 stealing. I'm usually never going to actually need to take a lead, to actually step off and get a little bit closer. Now, some people will continuously try and pick you off if you take a lead. I faced somebody like that. I would just get a step. I think I had a runner on second base just to get a little bit closer in case if I was going to score a run. Every single time, like 7 times in a row, they tried to pick me off. Eventually, I'm just like, screw it. I'm not going to lead off anymore. So somebody with this much speed, you're usually not going to need to lead off. For stealing, what I recommend, use the icon stealing. So you're going to point over to the first baseman, hit the L2 button at least like 3 times. Sometimes it doesn't register for me. I don't know if that's just my controller, but sometimes it does not. And as soon as you see an animation, hold the L1 button right here, blazed by him, not even close. We didn't take a step. We did not need a step. We were in there without any worries. Gonna do it again, have the icon pointing there, and as soon as I see that happening, hold L1. Sometimes guys won't have a immediate jump. I don't know if that's a glitch or if that has something to do with the stealing rating, but I've noticed guys even with high stealing that sometimes don't take off right when you would tell them to, or the first frame after they start moving as a pitcher. So hold L1, it'll just ensure that you're still moving. In terms of sliding, see exactly what I mean right there. I tried to steal, but it didn't let me. I only hit the L2 button once that time, so I'm going to make sure and hit it multiple times now, and we get the jump right away. Always push up with your right analog stick to slide hands first. I will show you, it usually doesn't go as well if you try and slide feet first. It's just a longer animation. A guy like Trey Turner gets those faster slides, but some people don't get those, and that is very crucial. I wasn't holding L1 right there. We still get in there, but it is a lot closer. As I mentioned, holding the L1, if they're going to pick you off, always be ready to hit R1. If you don't hit R1 and they try to pick you off, they are going to pick you off because you'll get a slight delayed animation before you go, and then it'll be plenty of time. I don't think it even matters the pitcher's like arm strength rating. You're pretty much going to get picked off every time. And to show you that, I'll try and take a lead. Hopefully they'll try and pick me off. This is actually, okay, there we go. Finally, we get that animation. I almost think through doing a little bit more research, if you have a higher stealing rating, it seems like you're less likely to get caught in that slow halting animation before they move over. So a guy like Trey Turner with a bunch of speed and a bunch of stealing can actually make up for it sometimes, but never obviously take a 2-step lead. If you're going to take any lead at all, just be careful. Have your other index finger hanging over R1, and if they try and pick you off, you'll be able to get a quick cut camera that it changes to when they do a pickoff, and you'll be able to easily get back. You're not going to get picked off. However, I do recommend almost always taking a step at second base. Why? It is a shorter throw for your opponent's catcher. Obviously, 90 feet compared to, I don't think it's 180. I think it's like 160 technically. But it's a much shorter throw that they have to make. And if they're going to try and pick you off, you're going to see their second baseman or shortstop moving. So it's not going to have any element of surprise. You're going to be able to scamper back 10 times out of 10 unless you're scratching your ass and not paying attention. All you have to do is just look closely and see as soon as they get that animation, the leg kick, you're going to be able to take off right away. And if you use these tips that I said throughout the video, if you focus on the count, what counts you want to steal on, that they are not going to want to try and risk anything. They don't want to walk you. They don't want to make things worse on them and have a possible really good pitch for you to hit. You're aware of what pitcher, what catcher they have. You're pretty much going to steal every single time on them. This is how you play small ball. And then last but not least, in Diamond Dynasty, of course, you're going to want to have high steal, high speed. Guys, if there is one that is more important than the other, it's definitely speed. If you have somebody like Aaron Judge with 12 stealing, at that point, I probably wouldn't recommend it. But if you had 67 or about 70 speed and 50 stealing, that's still good enough to get the job done, in my opinion. Maybe then you're going to want to think about taking a step, but then again, it's harder to scamper back. Guys like Jimmy Rollins, you don't need 99 speed necessarily to steal effectively. I steal pretty much every time I do it with Acuna. Jimmy Rollins is good at it as well. And then of course you're going to have those that are really, really big threats, kind of like a Byron Buxton. These guys are so valuable, and this is why I recommend this team Affinity, for example, because yes, he doesn't have good hitting stats, but if you get on base with him, 99 speed, not only are you going to be able to steal pretty much guaranteed on your opponent, he's also going to be completely psyched out because he's worrying about you probably more than the hitter. I know for me, for sure, I faced off against this Buxton in particular tons of times already. It happens to me as a pitcher. I don't want to give up another base, so I am really focusing and taking a lot of my effort and focus on the base runner instead of where I should locate these pitches to the hitter. But that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully these tips are going to help you. You can utilize these in moments as well. I know some of these do require you to steal bases. I think stealing is probably even easier in moments than it actually is in game. But yeah, these are going to help you out a lot, whether you just want to steal occasionally to get the extra edge and get a runner in scoring position, maybe to try to tie up the game or get that extra run, or if you're somebody who likes playing small ball, get singles, steal second base, and then all you need is one more hit to score your 90+ speed guy from second base. This is going to help you immensely. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Take some out. Yeet.